The topic given to me is the prophetic role of the Christian in contemporary India. I shall deal only with the prophetic role of the Christian in the world of culture, and there again I limit myself to the world of aesthetic creation or artistic creation. It's of course a very limited field. I hope to speak to you about the other areas of culture you see in my next class, briefly. So this can be taken as part of my lecture. Now, so what is the prophetic role of the Christian in the world of artistic creation? Here the first question that arises is, what is art? And art is something very difficult to define. One might define it as the attempt on the part of man to express the deeper truths of human existence in sensuous forms. So in art we have a content and a form. The content is the deeper dimensions of human existence, the deeper truth regarding man and his destiny. And then we have the form, which is sensuous. The form may be one of color, as in painting, or tone, as in music, or word, sound become word, as in literature, poetry, novel, short stories, and so on. So I am limiting myself to this field, and this is definitely a non-controversial field. Now I said in art you see the deepest meaning of existence is on sensuous form, and therefore the artist has something in common with the prophet. The prophet also is one who gives expression to the deepest, the ultimate destiny of a people in language. And significantly, prophets often resort to sensuous form to communicate their message. If you read the prophetic writings in the Old Testament, I am not an authority on that, one sees that the mode of expression is poetic. See, the prophet's vision assumes sensuous form. And this is true also of Jesus. Jesus is one who bore witness to the ultimate meaning of human history, but he did that in poetic form. The parables are poems. And we have so many beautiful short stories in the Synoptic Gospels. So here prophecy, you see, took an artistic shape. And where prophecy takes the sensuous form, it appeals to a wider section of people. Where prophecy is expressed in conceptual terms, you see, in abstract words, it can appeal only to the mind and only to a few people. Whereas when it assumes sensuous form, the form of, say, short story or poem or lyric or whatever it appeals to a wider people and also to the deepest core of the human being. See, that center, that inward sanctuary of the human, from where willing, loving, thinking and deciding emerge. You see, so art touches the deepest being of humans. If that is the case, one would expect an upsurge of creativity in the Christian community. The Christians are, as disciples of Jesus, are supposed to continue his prophetic role. Therefore, naturally, one would think that they give expression to their prophetic vision in art forms. But unfortunately, this is not true. Compared with the rest of the population, the Christians are an unproductive section, a sterile section, incapable of producing, incapable of giving expression to their vision in artistic forms. Why? This is an important question which we have to decide, and the suggestions which I am going to place before you are hypothetical. They are not the last word, they are not my last word anyway, and they have to be tested and verified on the basis of historical research and further study, which I leave to you. How is it that we are unproductive in the world of art? The factors responsible for this sterility of the Christian mind are to a large extent common to modern man living in the capitalist society. Now, it is an irony that both the idealist Hegel and the so-called materialist Marx, you see, both of them agree that capitalist system is not conducive to aesthetic creation, because the social structure in capitalism produces a psychostructure in us, a complex of attitudes, reflexes, feelings, and so on. You see, a psychostructure which is not in harmony with the requirements of artistic creation. Why so? Because the psychostructure which capitalism produces in us is characterized by a threefold tendency, and these threefold tendencies reinforced by the structure of the church and the structure of the communities in which we live. What are these threefold tendencies? First of all, a tendency to instrumentalize, to look at persons, things and events as means to an end. Often the end is a private end, your private interest. And when you look at things and persons as an end, we don't recognize them in their original purity. In a certain sense, not only human beings, even plants and the sun, the moon, whatever see outside, are ends in themselves in a certain sense. They are not just tools. And we look at things as tools, you see, mainly because, you see, we are living in the age of technology, you see, and technology is nothing but the science of adjusting means to ends, choosing means for specific ends. So we always think of people as people and things as mere means. And we are not able to relate to them as they are in themselves. Secondly, our psychostructure has a tendency to mentalize, to conceptualize, to reduce the world of things and human beings into abstract concepts, dry, desiccated concepts, chemically pure concepts. But the concrete reality, you see, whether a thing or a human being, you see, is in itself unutterable, unfathomable, unspeakable. It cannot be reduced to abstract concepts. But our usual tendency is to reduce everything to abstract concepts. At that level of abstraction, that rarefied atmosphere of desiccated concepts, we feel at home. We consort with them, we mingle with them. With these concepts, we live in that world. So the tendency to mentalize or to conceptualize. And because we look at things as tools or as a sum of abstract concepts, things don't emerge before us in their original purity, in their original innocence, in their nakedness, in their native inherent splendor. When I meet persons, you see, they don't somehow appear to you in their original innocence. I have already transformed them in a certain sense, either into concepts or into a tool. And because things and persons don't emerge in their original purity, you see, they don't send vibrations to us. And even if they do send vibrations to us, we don't respond. We don't vibrate to things and persons. As though the feelers of our soul, the suckers of our soul, you see, have been circumcised or cut off. You see. So our soul does not resonate with the real world, and therefore we are not able to perceive the deeper truth of reality. There's a deeper layer of truth which is not accessible to conceptual thinking, but which is accessible to our sensuousness. Our sensuousness becomes dead, and therefore we are not able to speak to them. And finally, there is this, even if things appear in their original splendor, we are not able to respond to them in the proper way, because our psychostructure is subjected to a certain regimentation. The native energies of our soul, which is the deeper forces of our being, are not allowed to express themselves in a spontaneous manner. They are forced to channel themselves along the predetermined lines. Like, you see, if there's a clear spring surging up, then you pump it up, you collect the water in a tank, you see, then afterwards you let it pass through innumerable pipes. At the end of each pipe we have got a tap. So in the same way, you see, our creative energy, our unconscious energy, you see, is regimented, made to run along certain fixed grooves. Grooves set by society, set by the church, set by the community in which we live, all the innumerable do's and don'ts, prescriptions and commands and injunctions and whatnot. So we become regimented, the arteries of our spirit harden. This is I think is the main reason why 3 minutes more. There's no creativity. Another important reason is that we as Christians, you see, are a people without a memory, without a past, without deep roots in the collective unconscious of the people. That collective unconscious, we have exercised away as something unholy, impure. So we are a people without deep roots in our own past. Therefore, if you want to be creative, you see, in the world of art, of aesthetic creation, what have we to do? We have to slap off our acquired psychostructure. We have to jump out of the skin. We have to undergo a rebirth and a conversion of our sensuousness, so that we can merge with the people and start vibrating, to things and persons. Today we don't vibrate. We are a crowd here, but we don't vibrate. Because all vibrations are suppressed. Therefore we need a conversion. We have to get out of the psychostructure. That is why artistic creation, you see, will take place only among the dissenters, among the dropouts. Not that all dropouts are artists, but artists tend to be dropouts. They cannot fit into the existing system. And this is the inner conversion, you see, that we are called to undergo if you want to be creative in the realm of art, of music, dance, literature, poetry and so on. You see, we have to undergo a certain spiritual transformation. And this, of course, I could exemplify with reference to the development of Indian history, you see, but there is no time. And in case any questions come up, I'm answering that, I will also deal with that aspect. Thank you very much.